I'm 84 years old, and I've been sitting with a feeling most of my life that I never had a name for. It felt like an empty room I kept walking past, telling myself I'd look inside later. I don't have much later left, so I'm finally opening the door. I wake up early now, even when I don't need to. The house is quiet in a way it never used to be. No rushing, no arguments, no one asking where their shoes are. Just the sound of the kettle and my own breathing. Some mornings I feel grateful for the calm, other mornings it feels like I've already been forgotten, and the day hasn't even started. I'm telling you this because I don't need reassurance. At my age, praise doesn't land the way it used to. I'm telling you because I've finally understood something that stayed just out of reach for decades, and it feels wrong to carry it alone. For a long time I thought the emptiness meant I hadn't done enough. That I should have worked harder, earned more, stayed sharper. That was the story I told myself because it was familiar, and it didn't ask much of me emotionally. I grew up learning how to be useful. That mattered more than being happy. My parents didn't say it outright, but it was in the air. You did your job, you showed up, you didn't complain. Feelings were private things, like debts or bad knees. In my 20s I got a steady job. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills. I married a good woman. We weren't wildly in love, but we were kind to each other, and that seemed like enough. Everyone around us was doing the same thing, so we assumed we were doing it right. Life filled up quickly. Work during the week, errands on Saturday, family dinners on Sunday, conversations about money, repairs, plans for later. There was always a sense that the important parts would come after we got through the busy stretch. I didn't feel empty back then, I felt occupied. That's different, though I didn't know it at the time. There were small moments I brushed past. My wife wanting to talk late at night when I was tired. Friends inviting us over when I'd rather stay in. My kids asking questions I didn't quite answer because I was distracted, or in a hurry. Nothing dramatic, nothing cruel, just postponement. I thought there would be time to circle back. Years passed like that. Promotions came. Responsibilities piled up. I was reliable. People depended on me. That felt good in a solid, heavy way, like standing on firm ground. I told myself that was fulfillment. But every once in a while, usually when I was alone, that quiet hollowness would tap on my shoulder. I'd ignore it. I was too busy to investigate something so vague. The cost didn't arrive all at once. It never does. It showed up in things like not knowing my children as well as I thought I did. In realizing I couldn't remember the last deep conversation I'd had with my wife. In friendships thinning out because no one ever made the effort. And I was no exception. I told myself this was adulthood. This was normal. Everyone felt this way. You got used to it. Then my wife got sick. Not suddenly, slowly. Doctor visits, new medications, long afternoons in waiting rooms. I was there, physically. I did what needed to be done. I was good at that. But one evening, not long before she died, she asked me if I was happy. Not accusing, just tired. I didn't know how to answer. She died before I figured it out. After that the house felt larger, and I felt smaller inside it. I retired around the same time. All the structure I'd leaned on disappeared within a year. People stopped calling. Not out of malice, they just moved on. That's when the emptiness stopped being occasional and became constant. I tried to fill it. Hobbies, television, volunteering, staying busy. None of it touched the center of it. It was like pouring water into a cracked bowl. The turning point came quietly. I was going through old boxes one afternoon and found a letter my wife had written years earlier. I don't even remember when she gave it to me. I must have set it aside to read later. I never did. It wasn't dramatic, just her thoughts, her worries, her hopes for us when we were younger. I realized I'd been loved more deeply than I allowed myself to notice. That's when it hit me. The emptiness wasn't because I failed. It was because I delayed. I kept waiting for a future version of myself who would be more present, more open, more available. That person never arrived. What can't be fixed now is obvious. Conversations that won't happen, apologies that won't be heard, moments that passed quietly and are gone for good. I can't go back and choose differently, no matter how clearly I see it now. I don't torture myself over it. That would be pointless at this stage. But I don't pretend it doesn't hurt. If you're listening to this, I won't tell you what to do. I don't know your life. I only know mine. What I wish I had understood is that emptiness doesn't come from not achieving enough. It comes from not showing up when it matters, because you assume there will be another chance. Sometimes there isn't. If this meant something to you, maybe sit with it for a moment. Not to fix anything, just to notice. As for me, I have less time now, but I'm gentler with it. I make my tea slowly. I speak when something matters. I let the quiet be what it is. This is the truth I finally understand at 84. I wish I had known it sooner. I wish I had known it sooner.